Hi there and welcome back to Japan, where I'm going to be checking out a little bit more of dollsboxx because I listened to two of their songs and I really liked it, and then I just kind of left it way too long to check out any more. So I'm going back in. I was told actually because I noticed that the videos were connected and there was a to be continued sort of thing going on with them, and I was told in the comments that apparently all of the songs from this album I think will have videos and all done in a similar themed way. So this is another one which I already know starts off in the same way, so I'm thinking it's from the same album anyway. It's called Loud Twin Stars. I'm going to stop waffling. Let's get straight in and listen to this because I enjoyed the last two songs to varying levels. I could pick little holes in them, but I was just really blown away by the creativity of the writing, the performance, the whole sound, everything. So here we go. Loud Twin Stars. Bam. Moody intro, the same intro. Like I said, I knew that. Loud Twin Stars. Oh. They seem to be going onto stage, but in like horror style. I love that riff. The dual singing thing's really working well, actually. Surprising how well the voices go together, considering some of my previous comments. Full of rhythm, full of everything once again. Ooh. I love that bass sound. Really moves well, just everything's so fluid, so melodic. Again, brilliant. then back to the ending. I mean, interesting, it's done in the same theme, but just to mention with the video, yeah, to be continued again. We'll find out which is the last one when it doesn't say that. But yeah, the first thing about the video, just to say, obviously the video was just a live video, nothing really to write home about. Seems like that's something you would do anyway if you were trying to get a video for every single song on the album. You can't make each one an artistic wonder like the other two, push towards being in their own various ways. But yeah, it was good, it was a perfectly efficient video, it was nice. It was always good to see the performance side in the video anyway, because a really good video, you want to see performance, you want to see the artists doing what they do. But let's move on to the song. The song, if we were looking from a sheer, almost a genre perspective, I hate to use pigeonholes in genres, I really don't like that, but it is a good guide, as with any stereotype. Basically, from a genre standpoint, that was kind of aiming more towards the sort of hard rock stuff that we hear from some of the other bands I listen to here, like, the obvious one to use as an example is Bandmade. It was kind of more just, rocking along with a simple melody, but it did infuse everything that I really liked about the last two dollsboxx songs, which was just that madness in there of all the different sounds and the way everything works together. And there was a point in that song where I was thinking, is this just a synth player? Because in this one especially, the synth player had just all the right crazy sounds at the right times and layering things up and was giving it a unique sound. But then I did listen to everything else and I was thinking, well, you got that trippy drum line coming from the drummer. The bass player was doing like slap bass all the way through, which is just a fantastic thing of itself, and especially when we got to that bridge, you could hear just how awesome that bass sound she's gone for is. The guitarist, although, it's harder for a guitarist to do anything which stands out. They can't all be Tom Morello's, guitar is always going to a certain degree be a guitar, especially when you've got a band like this where the guitar kind of becomes the anchor, the thing that everything is actually revolving around. But the guitarist was still very, very good at what she did, and just everything works out fantastically there. The vocalist, I've already said, she's amazing. But this was interesting, and it just shows, again, how they're so creative in this band and how I think they actually deserve a lot of credit. It was interesting to go for initial layered vocal. It seems that the girl with the dyed hipster hair on the drums, she seems to have done something very different vocally in all three of the songs. And although in the first one I did actually say that I really didn't like her contribution vocally to the song, it is interesting that she's moved her position, and that actually adds a lot of individuality to the songs as well, because this one, having her singing along with the lead singer, because her voice isn't as powerful, meant that it just provided the perfect underlayer. If you had two extremely powerful singers at the same time, it could be too much, but it just worked brilliantly how she covered it all the way through. And this actually had the shouting stuff in it as well, like in the first song, but the difference was here, it was delivered by I think one or more of the other singers, performers, players, instrumentalists, members of the band. But interestingly, it was delivered through an element of distortion, which kind of helped, because that distortion meant that it kind of had a power. Some people might say it's cheating, but I don't really care. Either it sounds good or it doesn't. And that kind of, the shouty stuff in that sounded much better, much more punchy, much more powerful, much more like it was serving a purpose than it did in the first song I heard of theirs, where it kind of just sounded a little bit whiny and thin. So, I mean, on a basic level, that was just fantastic. Does it appeal more to my sensibilities because it's a sort of fast, hard-rocking song? Yes. Can I say I prefer it more than the first one I heard, which I think is my favourite? I have to go back and listen, because it's been a little while, and compare them, but that was Take My Chance, which is, I know, is already a popular one. It'd be hard for me to say, because I was really blown away by how Take My Chance did take so many chances and did so many things, and the video was very charming as well, so maybe I'm biased towards that one, and also the surprise of hearing them for the first time. Maybe if I did go back, this would actually be my favourite, and like I say, it's harder to pick holes in this one. The other two I was able to pick little holes in, but this one not so much. I think everything in here was functional. Might be a simpler formula that they went for with just a fast rocking song with again a fantastic melody, and all the sections it goes through and so fluidly changes. That's another thing which I was saying about Wagaki Band, is when you've got a band who's got so many sounds going on at the same time, the real trick is, are you just going to keep the same thing going, which neither of these bands does seem to do, or are you going to keep it changing? And when you keep it changing, it's very hard to find every instrument a place as the arrangement progresses and keep everything sounding relevant. But they do, the sound just moves throughout. It's just a feast for the ears. There's so much for the ears to take in, and that's something that I really like about both Wagaki Band and about dollsboxx, although dollsboxx seems to be on the synthy, poppy, psychedelic side, whereas Wagaki Band are bringing more of a traditional instrumentalist perspective to it. So I think that actually those two bands are two interesting sides of the same coin in a very weird way. Anyway, as always, love to know your opinions. This is now the third dollsbox song I've heard, but I really should listen to more. I have actually got lined up some songs by the members in their other groups, so thank you. I do know you guys mentioned that, and that is something I'm going to be looking into, and I'm sorry it's taken me so long. But nonetheless, if you've got more dollsbox you want to throw at me, do that, and I will be checking out their other groups as well. But for now, from Japan, thank you, and you know, all the usual stuff, subscribing, following, blah 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 blah. I'm not going to patronise you with that. Just for now, ciao ciao.